All right, happy Friday afternoon. Let's talk about the one battle plan trade that presented itself. So each night I publish a set of possible entries for that night and the next day, typically between 1 and 5 entries. Last night it was 5 entries. We're going to talk about one of them because that's the only one that came to fruition. So I number each of the trade ideas like this, and then there's corresponding notes inside of the battle plan at microstrader.com and click battle plan. So let's look at the price map, which is nothing more than the trading view chart that shows all the entries with some additional notes. We make a new all-time high and slams back down and ladders. Early adopter short here. So in the additional notes section, once again, number one corresponds to this number one. Possible short if we run above the all-time high. And as a bonus, Dow snags its all-time high and we all slam back inside of today's RTH. No prediction trading. You can go broke shorting this market. Only real levels small, referencing this small, and look to add if possible. See the price map for more notes. And I gave an idea of where you could add to your trade when I made the battle plan at this time. And in this morning's AM briefing, about the 5 minute and 50-second mark, I revealed I was short at the battle plan trade location, and the goal is to take a TP at the bottom of this established range that we've had here for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 sessions. And so let's go see what happened here. I'm going to bring this back up. I'm going to load that range. And so let's talk about the development of this trade. So did we make an all-time high? We sure did. Did Dow make an all-time high? Well, let's come over here and look. Sure did. The overnight session ran right up, took it all back. So those two requirements were met. And then did we slam back in? Well, what's a slam back in? I love when I see a series of fair value gapping candles here that signifies the strength of a move without much of a retrace. Okay, so that was slam back in. Is it a shock? We bounced off the top of the range? No, it's not. We made it back to the entry location here. Take that short. And then in the AM briefing, I gave an additional updated information about taking a profit, that this would be the ideal location to take profit. If you wanted to be a little more adventuresome and try to make it all the way to the strong level, you could try to do that. But I was advising my traders that at the bottom of this range, my idea for you, of course, you're in charge of your own trading, is that's a perfect place to take a profit. One of the additional things I want to talk about is you were given the opportunity, if you were trading our 3 minute core strategy, you had an additional short right here. So let's talk about that, because one of our core tenets in our group is we want to add to a winning trade. So look to add to a winning trade. It's a risk-free add-on. You can manage it as a new entry or as a combined entry. Let's talk about both real quick. So your entry was up here and your add-on was right here. And the reason why I'm using this fib tool is it shows me clearly where the 50% line is. So let's just say you had one contract here, you did one contract here. The average price is now right there at 89. So you have two options. When you add here, if you average it, now your break even is right here. You can move your stop right here and go, you know what? I'm willing to take a break even. I know I'm counter, and you are counter because the bulls control. That doesn't mean there's not a short opportunity for a certain portion of that distance. But right there at 89.50, your stop could be, and say, I am totally cool taking a break even trade with my lotto runner because I have already peeled contracts off and ensured a green day on option expiration Friday. Not a bad way to go. So if you took this short, the other way to manage that is because you're counter. When you're counter in our group, I encourage you to think about following price at 50%. So capturing half of this move. What would be half of that move? Well, let's just take a peek at that. About 7 points. It came back and got you out of your lotto runner. So you made 7 points on that. And then your stop for break even could still be up here at your original entry. and you just captured 7 additional points in a risk-free add-on. Why was it risk-free? Because you couldn't have lost. There's almost no way to lose there. You get in right here, and look how much cushion you have to break even. How much cushion do you have? You've got 13 points of cushion before both of those contracts break even. I consider that a risk-free add-on. You got some Ukraine news right here, and at the moment, it looked like we were definitely going to head down to the next strong level, which would have been the target here. Okay, this was my original target going back to the strong level. So that's 2 ways that you could handle that add-on. If you are really adventuresome, you are still short. You are still short. However, going into the weekend, counter to the move of the market, there's no way, personally, I would go into the weekend short. I want to look at one additional thing here. So Dow did make the all-time high, and it did slam back in. NQ was having none of that move. NQ was saying, nah, guys, you go have all that all-time high fun. I'm going to hang out down here, and when you want to come in, I'll be ready for you. And that's exactly what it did. So the recipe for this short was nearly all complete. Everything was worked. NQ did not slam back in, but NQ couldn't slam back in because NQ did not participate in the move up. Beautiful short. If you took it, congratulations. If you held that runner to the bottom of the range, congratulations. Another round of entries will be released by Sunday afternoon if you'd like to get your hands on it. Be on the lookout for the next set of entries that will be published tonight at microstrader.com under Battle Plan.